Hello, this is Sister Marie Thérèse, and welcome to my second book critique. I'm excited to share these amazing stories with you. My first and featured text is The War That Saved My Life by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. In this story, we follow the journey of Ada and her younger brother Jamie. Ada is a young girl from London during the time of World War II. She has been living a life unaware of her beauty and dignity because she has been abused and neglected her whole life. When the war begins to threaten the safety of the people in London, the children are sent off to the country to be cared for by volunteers. It is during this time that Ada discovers who she is and struggles to accept the truth of being loved. This heart-wrenching story of hope, family, and faithfulness will not fail to leave the reader unaffected. My first lesson plan follows the 4th grade social studies standards for Indiana. Throughout the text, we hear of the home front activities in the town of Kent. Ada, Susan, their caretaker, and many others do all that they can to help in the war efforts. I would use this as an opportunity to discuss with my students what people were doing in Indiana as well as in their hometown during that time. The students would be encouraged to do some research and talk to family members to create a presentation through Buncee or a similar platform. My second lesson plan follows the 5th grade English Language Arts standards for Indiana. Using their growing skills in composition and reflecting on the hardships that our characters face, the students will write a letter to another child who is suffering in some way. Connecting with an organization like Catholic Relief Services or St. Vincent de Paul, these letters will be sent along with a donation to a child in need. For example, my former grade school creates backpacks for children in foster care every year. Having the students also write them letters would be a beautiful act of love for them to participate in. Here is an example of such a letter. The students can use a tool like Canva or a similar program to format a creative and thoughtful message. The next book that I read as part of this set is The Lion and the Mouse by Jerry Pinkney. Based off of the fable by Aesop, we are invited into the jungle to witness the power of mercy and heroic love by what would seem to be two enemies. Beautifully illustrated, there are not any words on the pages, only the sounds of the animals. In this way, the reader is fully immersed into the story, hearing the sounds of the jungle themselves. In our next story, we meet a young Jewish girl on her way to America. Gatel's Journey by Leslie Newman is based off of multiple true stories of children who had to immigrate alone in the 19th and early 20th centuries to find safety. At 9 years old, this little girl must be brave as she says goodbye to her former life. Until her mother receives permission to join her, Gatel must journey alone across the sea to join her uncle in America. The reader is invited to join her, sharing in her fear and hope. The next few books that we'll focus on look at the theme of identity. First, we have The Crown on Your Head by Nancy Tillman. This poem, though categorized under fantasy, speaks of a reality that is undeniably true. It is a reminder to readers of the great dignity that they have been created with that can never be lost or taken away. It is a beautiful allegory to use in teaching our vocation as beloved children of God. Next, we have Wonder by R.J. Palacio. She introduces us to August Pullman, a young boy entering the 5th grade and preparing to go to school for the first time. Augie was born with a craniofacial abnormality that has prevented him from going to a normal school until this time. The reader journeys with Augie as he comes to discover that his identity is not rooted in how he looks or what others think of him, but who he is. It is an inspiring story, encouraging us to look deeper and to love those whom God has placed in our lives. Our third book, focusing on the theme of identity, is Maybe by Kobe Yamada. It speaks of the endless potential that is found within each person, showing that each of us has a unique calling and dignity. The reader follows the story of a little girl and her pig as she tries new things, meeting both successes and failures. This is a great book encouraging children that it is okay to make mistakes and that life can be hard, but these are simply opportunities that will lead us to even greater things if we allow them to. Our next text focuses in a subtle way on accepting the differences of others. The Big Umbrella by Amy June Bates and Juniper Bates tells the story of a child who has, well, a big umbrella. On a rainy day, the umbrella continues to grow and expand to fit underneath it every person needing shelter. I think that this is a beautiful metaphor for our Mother, the Church, who desires all people to be her children. Finally, to bring in a different and exciting topic, we have Encyclopedia Prehistorica Dinosaur Edition, co-written by Robert Sabuda and Matthew Reinhardt. This informational text brings your experience of reading an encyclopedia to a whole new level. With huge pop-ups, multiple per page, readers are introduced to over 35 prehistoric friends. Packed with fun and interesting facts, it is sure to engage and teach a reader of any age. And this is my second set of books. I can't wait to share with you my next one.